Weaver has not filed a plea, but if convicted, faces 15 years to life in prison. Police say he was arrested Friday night while at home with his family. He did not resist arrest. His attorney has not commented on the case. Whit.
It's a terribly upsetting case all around. Stephanie Ramos for us, thank you. We do want to turn now to politics and the battle for Nevada. Candidates are stumping hard, getting ready for a debate on Wednesday with the caucus now less than 1 week away. ABC's Rachel Scott is following all the action from Las Vegas for us. Rachel, good morning to you.
Whit, good morning. Nearly 12,000 Nevada Democrats turning out on the first day of early voting. The candidates fighting to get ahead in this state and only have 6 days left to make their case. In Nevada, the sprint to the first contest in the West. Former Vice President Joe Biden packing in events.
Senator, thank you very much.
And challenging his rivals on health care, making his pitch to union workers.
Some Democrats want to get rid of it. Well, over my dead body, they're going to get rid of it. Medicare for all requires you to give it up. My plan allows you to keep what you've negotiated.
Senator Bernie Sanders taking heat from some union leaders who are warning against his proposal for Medicare for all.
We are going to pass a Medicare for all single-payer program.
But the senator telling me he is not worried about losing momentum.
We have about 700 people marching at the vote. We're feeling absolutely great.
The candidates fanning out across the state, now 6 days out from the Nevada caucuses. Senator Amy Klobuchar speaking at a Black History Month festival, hoping her message breaks through to minority voters. Why should they give your campaign a chance?
Well, I need to get to know them because my name ID wasn't very high, my bank account not as big, and so it's on me now to share with people my record.
Skipping the state, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the billionaire bringing out hundreds in Virginia, but facing growing criticism. The Washington Post reporting on allegations of sexism at his company, as reported recently by ABC News. His spokesperson responding, saying Mike simply does not tolerate any kind of discrimination or harassment. And Bloomberg has just 2 days left to qualify for the next debate. But as the rest of the field makes their final push here in Nevada, they will have to share the spotlight with President Trump. The president will be holding a rally right here in Las Vegas just 1 day before the caucuses. Dan?
Rachel, thank you. Let's get some perspective now from Martha Raddatz, who's in Washington, where she'll be hosting this week later this morning. Martha, good morning. I want to start with these Bloomberg allegations. He's starting to get a lot more scrutiny as his poll numbers spike. Do you think these stories, these older stories of alleged sexism are likely to halt that rise?
Well, first of all, this was a very deep dive into those allegations by the Washington Post, and there were some alarming things reported in that Washington Post article. So I think he will get more scrutiny after this. Whether it affects him, Dan, it's anyone's guess. He is very aggressive. They look at Mike Bloomberg, those voters who are supporting him, as someone who could take on Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has certainly had allegations in the past, and not just allegations, but very sexist talk, as we all remember, on that Access Hollywood tape. So whether this sticks to Mike Bloomberg, we just don't know at this point, Dan, but he will definitely be getting more scrutiny about this.
I think there's no question about that. So we've got Nevada coming up in 6 days. Bloomberg not on the ballot there. Who has the most on the line in Nevada?
Well, I think you've got people like Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar coming out of those strong showings in New Hampshire, especially. But those are very, very white states, New Hampshire and Iowa. And they go into Nevada. There's a 30% Latino electorate there, 10% black. They have got to make some inroads. You heard Amy Klobuchar there in Rachel Scott's piece saying, look, people just don't know my name. It's how they're going to get to know those Amy Klobuchars and Pete Buttigieg. That's very important for them, and they have very little time to make that happen before they go into Nevada and then into South Carolina.
All right, 6 days to boost their name ID in Nevada. And as you said, South Carolina 1 week after that. I know you've been spending some time on the ground in South Carolina. What are you learning there?
Well, I I think, first of all, we all know that Joe Biden says this is kind of a make or break state. It's his firewall, he says, in South Carolina. I found the support there for Joe Biden really pretty strong and holding. He's got lots of people on the ground and supporters going out to try to raise money and to try to raise voter awareness about Biden. But others are coming on strong as well. And Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, and the surprise, Tom Steyer. But Tom Steyer has put so much money into South Carolina, but he's also done a lot of FaceTime. And for those voters, for those minority voters, particularly in South Carolina, that is very, very important.
Another billionaire in the race, Tom Steyer. Martha Raddatz, thank you so much. And I want to remind everybody, tune in, please, to This Week later this morning. Martha will go one-on-one with Democratic presidential candidates Amy Klobuchar and the aforementioned Tom Steyer, plus the Powerhouse Roundtable debates the latest in the 2020 race, and of course the fallout from the ABC News exclusive interview with Attorney General Bill Barr a few days ago. That's all coming up on This Week. And another reminder while I have you, check out the round-the-clock coverage of politics and much more on our new streaming channel, ABC News Live. Eva, over to you.
Well, now the new details we're learning about a football brawl, mayhem breaking out after a fight between Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns and Mason Rudolph of the Pittsburgh Steelers in November. For the first time, Garrett is opening up about what he says happened as he is reinstated from his suspension. ABC's Zachary Keesh is here with more. Good morning, Zachary.
Eva, good morning to you as well. It was one of the worst fights we've ever seen on the field. 33 players were disciplined. Now, for the first time since that incident, Myles Garrett, the guy at the center of it all, is talking. And despite what he says preempted the fight, he wants to apologize and take accountability. This morning, Myles Garrett is opening up. The league hit the Cleveland Browns defensive end with an indefinite suspension after this fight with Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph. In an ESPN interview, Garrett says what he heard sparked something inside of him.
I was going to take him down. He said some words as we're going down.
What did he say to you?
I mean, he called me the N-word. He called me a stupid N-word.
Rudolph has said the allegations are a bold-faced lie, adding, "This is a disgusting and reckless attempt to assassinate my character." Rudolph's team is threatening legal action. The NFL saying in a statement, "We looked into the matter and found no such evidence." The shocking moment that got Garrett suspended cost him the last 6 games of the season and over $1 million in pay.
I apologize. There's no need for that kind of violence. That was outside of the game of football. And it was idiotic, foolish. It was childish on both parts, but it was childish of me. What I did was wrong, and I got what I deserved.
The league fined the Browns and Steelers $250,000 each, both players admitting they should have handled the situation differently.
Should have done a better job of keeping my cool in that situation.
Again, Garrett has been reinstated, which means we expect to see him back on the field this year. But the NFL also said in their statement there was no sound recorded from the field, which makes it hard to understand if we will ever truly know exactly what happened out there.
So raises a lot of questions, but Garrett is apologizing and accepting responsibility.
He's owning up. He's taking accountability and in many ways trying to turn the page, I think.
All right, Zachary, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We do want to turn now to the shocking takedown of a teenager at a North Carolina hospital. He's seen being thrown to the ground on surveillance video. This morning, his mother is talking about what happened. ABC's Trevor Ault has more.
It's shocking security footage capturing a North Carolina teen slammed by a security guard and punched by a sheriff's deputy. But this morning, it's the teen who's facing charges. Jessica Long said she'd taken her 16-year-old son Hayden to the hospital because he was in the midst of a mental health crisis.
I was still thinking, these men will help. Their goal will be to help me help my son. And they didn't do that.
Hospital footage obtained by the family's attorney shows Hayden shoving his mom as she waves for help. A security guard then pushing the teen down twice, pulling a stun gun, and as Hayden walks back to the car, a second security guard grabs him by the neck and tackles him from behind, leaving Hayden bleeding. When deputies arrive, things escalate even further. Authorities claiming Hayden spit blood in the face of Deputy Justin Polson, who responds by punching the handcuffed teen twice in the head. Sheriff Bill Beam has defended Deputy Polson, claiming he had a reaction to a felonious assault. And despite the video, the sheriff told WBTV earlier this week, Deputy Polson didn't punch the teen, saying, "All I saw was once and he was pushing him back away. No, he did not punch him in the face." But the sheriff's office now tells ABC News Deputy Polson is no longer employed with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. 16-year-old Hayden is now facing multiple charges, including felony assault of a law enforcement officer. His mother says she was just trying to get him help.
I took him to an emergency room, and he was treated like a criminal by everybody. Nobody ever treated him like a patient.
Well, Hayden's first court appearance is set for this week, and his mother is hoping with this video release the charges will be dropped. And that is possible, but there's also a possibility he'll be charged as an adult. His mother says they're always told if there's a mental health emergency, you should reach out, and then this happens.
Yeah, mental illness is such a huge challenge in this country, and often law enforcement doesn't quite know what to do.
Right.
Trevor, thank you very much.